Well, howdy, friends and floor heads. Question: what happens when you crash a lavish party in a seaside villa overlooking the Mediterranean Sea with knocked out ninja waiters at your feet and you have no idea where the doomsday virus is? We're playing Outgunned, the perfect RPG to turn it up to 11 and play an action movie inspired game. Our four heroes were hired to track down what is being called Project Medusa. They crashed the gala hosted by the world famous philanthropist Constantine Stamos. Posing as caterers, they hoped to secure the deadly Medusa virus before it was auctioned off to a global bad actor. Instead, they triggered the building's security system, rescued Dr. Sitakan's brother, faced off against an old nemesis, Valentina Venom Volkov, and then battled ninjas disguised as waiters. Will they figure out how the Nobel Prize winning Dr. Sita Khan fits into this fits into this plot, and why Constantine Stamos was holding her brother in the basement? Will they find Project Medusa before it falls into the wrong hands? And is Stamos here? And do they really want to find out? We hope to play to find out right after the opening titles. We're going to start where we left off in episode 4. The four of you are at the top of the large staircase. At your feet are the knocked out bodies of a bunch of ninja waiters. Volkov is completely under your control. You have no idea who's in this building, where this virus is, or why Sita Khan's brother was in the basement, though he's now safely in the catering truck. The party's kind of restarted. You can hear the clinking of glasses, the murmuring, the laughter. So the chaos that Gavin created by triggering the security has kind of dimmed down a little bit. And it sounds like people are getting back to what they came to do, which is to socialize and be fancy rich here on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea.
So I look around at my team and I see that Gavin is a little worse than Ware. And I see if we can find a little side room that we can all gather in. And as soon as we're safe, I grab Gavin by his collar. Gavin, listen, look at me. Are you trying to die tonight? Are you trying to? What are you trying to prove? Hush.
I'm just trying to help.
Hush. You're trying to. What are you trying to prove? You don't have to be the badass. That's what me and Jack are for. We need you and we need your skills to hack into whatever system we need to find. We're not living up to our team potential right now. We got Jack over here doing Fred Astaire downstairs. We got Claire over here doing witty repartee with some psycho chick with a knife, and finish it off my beatdowns. I am not happy. Let's get our shit together and get this shit done. Do you understand? Because if not, I'll end you right now. I'll end you right now. If you want to die, we can do it.
Right, all right.
We've been friends
Just chill.
since
Just chill,
P4.
baby. Just chill.
I'm tired. And we got to listen, Jack. Pull your silencer out. Stop trying to get hand to hand. Start shooting people in the hip, in the face, whatever you need to do. Claire, we need a plan. We're not going to get this doctor chick off the second floor by walking her out the front door. So we probably got to leave by a window. We know what brought rope. So we are the best because they pay us to be the best. Now let's get our shit together. Where to, Claire?
Well, not to inflate your ego anymore, but that was a good pep talk.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I could write them pointers, maybe. Next time.
Just
Yeah.
remember, those pointers typically include fingers, and his hands are considered lethal weapons. So, do you really want pointers in this whole discussion?
All right.
Fair.
Jack, go get some knives off these ninja guys. They probably got some throwing knives off of here. You throw, shoot, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Let's
So
get it together.
that's what I was
We're
going to do. Is I was going to check them for weapons because clearly I didn't bring my rifle with me.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you loot the body. You
Yeah.
pick up ninja weapons, throwing stars, knives, whatever you guys want to find.
Cool.
It sounds like we wanted to duck into maybe a side room and take a breath for a second. Does that sound about
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
All right. So where are we headed?
we're still trying to find the control room.
Yeah.
So we grab the first door and just kind of peeking in.
Yeah,
Who opens it?
I'll open it.
So, Mello, you find a room just off the top of the stair, and you click the door open, and you hear, as you kind of put your ear to it, I doubt you're just going to be throwing doors open, right? So you kind of put
Right.
your ear to it as you're cracking the door, and you hear some murmuring, some voices, not really clear. Does it sound like someone's being? It sounds like someone's in pain, maybe. It's hard. It's really hard to tell. You've only got the door cracked a little bit. You don't see anything.
Yeah, I look back and say, give them the sign that I hear something. And crack it as quietly as I can and just kind of do the little side lean in there.
So as you open it up a little bit more, and as Mello's doing this, where are my other three friends? You're standing in the hall. What are we doing?
So I'm going to rotate so that I have a look into the room. So instead of being on the hinge side, I'm on the doorknob side. So as it opens, I can look in the opposite direction because Mel is going to be looking in the direction that the door's doing.
Got it. Clara?
I think Clara is going to be against the wall on the hinge side of the door, ready to back up if she needs to.
How about my friend Gavin? Are you breaking something, setting off alarms again? What are you doing?
I am as far away from the door as I can be.
Okay. We'll have you down the
Maybe
hallway.
Down the hall, around the corner, back in the catering truck if I can get that far.
Go back to the hotel. All right.
Yeah.
So Mello, you start to creak the door open, and you just hear this sound, and it sounds like pain. And very quickly, as the door is opening, you're realizing this must be a bedroom of some sort. And there's a bit of a hall from the door, and then you can see that the bedroom wraps around. So as you're opening this up, you can't see a bed, though you see like a little Shea lounge, a dresser, and you're hearing like somebody gagged or something's going on. It's really hard to tell.
All right, well, I give Jack the look. I'm going in, and I still hear something, and just cover me. And I bring out my little jammy whammy, my 45, and just had it at the ready.
So you get to the corner. I have you against the corner. If you turn this corner, you're going to see whatever you can hear. Give me an idea of how we're doing this. Are we going to kind of peek around, or we're going
Yeah, we're going to peek
to run around, point the
We're
gun? What are we doing?
No, peeking around and just seeing what we see.
So quick thing, as soon as he goes in, I'm going to take a step in with the idea that if somebody tries to come around the corner, while he's backing up, I can go ahead and take a first shot on him.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. I think we've got everything covered here. Melly, you kind of peek your head around. You see the base of the bed. And then you see a bare naked ass. And some copulation is occurring. You see a tuxedo on the ground, on the floor. You see a cocktail dress on the floor. And it's like, oh God, please, you're hurting me. Oh, don't stop, you're hurting me.
And I just kind of slowly back out. This is all we need to hear and see.
I think I want a stealth roll from you, sir.
Now I gotta shoot somebody.
And I just need a basic.
Stealth. There we go. Ooh,
Do you need one from me as well since I'm in the room?
No,
or-
I think Mello's at the point. I think I just need Mello's.
oh.
So you're gonna give away your position, Mello. How does that happen? You start to back away, and
I step on. He probably dropped his keys on the floor, and I step on his keys, backing out. God.
not only do you step on his keys, but in the distance,
I hear the car alarm.
the car alarm goes beep beep beep. And let's hear. Oh my! What could that be? Oh my God! Maybe it's my husband. Oh God!
I come out and just be like, security. Oh, hey. We heard the
Everybody
alarm.
covers.
Nothing. Sorry. We didn't mean to disturb you. With security, the alarm went off. We're just sweeping the rooms, making sure everybody's okay. Y'all seem to be doing well. Back to what you were doing.
He turns to her in the bed and he goes, "Is that your husband?" She kind of looks and she goes, "He could be."
Oh, I'll be like, Francis, I leave you for 5 minutes to go park the car, and here you are doing some freak stuff without me.
All right, so you guys back away. You have sufficiently scared the two people that shouldn't be doing this, have snuck away during the party. Let's put us back in the hallway. Let's talk about Plan B. Are we going to continue to check the doors? What are we doing?
Gavin, what are we looking
I
for
can't-
security wise? Because we can be here all night just checking doors.
Well, if Dr. Khan is being held against her will, then I would expect some sort of security on the room. Though I don't know. It's all so confusing with the brother in the basement, and still don't know what Khan's involvement is.
Is there some way for you to tap into the security camera network and get a view of the various locations?
If we find a camera, then I can try to do some work on it. But then we've found a camera, and somebody's looking on the other end of it.
Yeah, and I think in this era, it'll be a little tough for you to have something on you that'll allow you to hack into a camera to give you access to the entire network. I think you really would need a terminal, Gavin.
Sure.
Clara would like to try something. She reads a lot, and she happens to have read some books on modern architecture in the Mediterranean area of the world, and maybe she is able to pull some information about what a normal layout of a home of this style and stature might look like. If we know that there's a guest bedroom here and the stairwell is there, maybe we can pinpoint a better room to go to.
Absolutely love it. So, Clara, give me a focus no. I need 2 basic.
While she's rolling that,
How about a critical?
Critical will do that, and you get a little juice on top of it. What were you going to say, Jack?
so I'm just a little paranoid.
Okay.
I'm going to double check the hallway because we never actually bothered to look to see if there's security cameras in this corridor we're standing in.
So as Clara is recollecting her third masters in architecture, you look up, and I think a little bit to your horror, you realize there's freaking cameras everywhere, every corner, every nook. Some cameras that are trying to be hidden, some cameras that aren't even trying to be hidden. So there are eyeballs everywhere.
I found your cameras.
So Clara, you start looking around and you realize, I mean, not only are you pretty sure you're familiar with the layout here, you probably could name the architect's influences, the era in which this was designed. So knowing essentially the layout of the place, what are you looking for now? Where do you want to go?
Clara figures that if they are keeping Dr. Khan somewhere where maybe they don't want it to be so apparent that she may be a prisoner, it's probably going to be in a main bedroom of this house.
So typically with this design, this architect was kind of well known for really melding together both function and luxury. So creating these seaside villas there's several of these all over the world now, very, very expensive. They would often have an office adjoining to a master suite. And looking up and down the hall, you say to yourself, well, I think if we go down this way, the fourth door that should lead to the staircase, it should take us to the back area of the second floor at the half step up. It should take us directly into the bedroom, and that adjoining to it should be the master suite with the master office.
This is probably our best bet for where we may find her, but knowing that there's cameras everywhere, I can't imagine they don't have somebody who may already be alerted to the fact that we just had a little bit of a tussle.
Wow.
So we should be anticipating some not so friendly folks.
Jack, you still hear anything on your radio, on your comms there?
So am I hearing anything?
No. Things are just like, station 4, check. Station 5, check. Party seems to be settling in. Guests seem fine.
Yeah, no, everything seems to be clear. They're just doing the normal checks downstairs, which kind of worries me because you would think that somebody would be talking to come talk to us. So either they're on a different channel or they're already in position.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I think one of the benefits of what Gavin did is he definitely made all security focusing on the main party venue there up at the front. They're very concerned, trying to figure out who set off the alarms. Are there people here that aren't supposed to be? They're talking about, circulating, making sure that the faces match up with the guest list, so on and so forth.
Well, we better get moving before they catch on. Lead the way, Claire.
All right, she'll take lead.
So Claire, you head down to the hallway, and immediately you're in the right spot, because unlike all of the other doors that you've walked past, this one has a security panel with a keyboard on it.
Gavin, this seems like it may be a toy you know how to play with.
Oh yeah, cracks the knuckles.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, right there.
So
Just like in Africa, when you saved my life with a keyboard. But we'll talk about that later over Caliber 25.
So this is going to take a critical, Gavin, and I think there's a couple different potential combinations here you could use. What are you thinking as far as an approach?
I'm thinking crime
Definitely.
and fix.
I think crime and fix.
A different combo.
Yep.
Now, quick question, Craig. I'm sitting at almost full grit, but did we catch a break so that we can all recover grit, or are we still just pedal to the metal?
That is
Still,
up to the four of you. So there is no grit recovery at this point. I haven't seen an opportunity for that to happen yet. The
Okay.
plan of finding kind of a space to take a breath that would restore everybody's grit.
Okay. I just wanted to check in. We'll keep going.
Would you like to tell your fellow uh,
No.
masters of crime that maybe
No.
Gavin needs a minute, or
I think maybe he
greedy and
coughs at a
self-serving.
little, and a little blood is in his hand.
Two pops out his mouth.
This is finally my
Uh-oh.
moment. I can finally do something useful.
You've been
Honey,
very
you have been
Gavin.
useful.
We
Crime
wouldn't
and
be here
fixed.
without you.
Here we go.
all right. I needed a critical, plus you gained an extra basic in there for me as well. All right, so walk me through it and then give me an idea of how we can spend that basic.
I think Gavin pops out one of the knives he recovered from the ninja waiters and pops the little keypad panel off, and it hangs down with all these wires connecting it. And he sort of licks his fingertips and looks at it really intently and starts moving things around, pulling out a wire here and snipping a little line there and retwisting it back in. Pulls out a little wedge of electrical tape he had in his pocket and sort of wraps it back around and then slides the panel back in just to conceal all the work he did, and reprogrammed it to it's now 1 2 3 4 5. Classic
So-
password.
We hear the clacking of the keys as Gavin hits the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the four of you hear the as it unlocks.
Smooth as butter, Gavin. This is what I'm talking about. All right, get back from the door.
Aye, Cap.
All right, you ready, Jack?
Yep.
All right, we just pop in.
So you creak that door open, and damn it, it's exactly as Clara told you it was going to be. It's like a half-story staircase leading up to a very large room, but you're half story down below it, so you can't see that room. No sound, other than sounds like maybe a window might be open up there because you can hear the ocean or the sea. Sorry.
I don't know how you do it, Clara. How do you recall all this? I'm just amazed. All right, let's go check it out.
All right, so I've got Mello first. Where's Jack?
Jack will go second. Though I'm going to stay a bit closer to him than I did last time because I need to be able to be high enough up on the stairs that I can see over the stairs and, just basically peek eyes over the stairs as he's cresting the stairs.
But still have some cover.
Yeah.
Clara and Gavin?
Clara will go next, although she is definitely keeping an eye on her very hurt friend at the moment.
Actually, hey, Claire, can we borrow your makeup mirror?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
She
So-
pulls it out of somewhere in her dress that
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Jack's actually going to take it, and he's going to crawl up the stairs so he can put just the makeup mirror up to look and see what's going on.
Nice.
So as Jack is crawling up, we hear the soft closing of the door to the hallway and a light little as it clicks shut. Jack, you kind of army crawl up the steps, take the little hand mirror of Clara's, and you put it up and angle it just perfectly so you can see this obnoxiously luxurious bedroom. It has all glass far wall overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. You thought that the view at the front of this home was breathtaking. Nothing compared to this. And you can see one of the windows is cracked open. You can smell the sea air coming into the room. Hardwood floors with luxurious Turkish carpets, ornate furniture, a floor to ceiling dressing mirror, You can see a footman's tower in the far corner with maybe 4 or 5 perfectly pressed tuxedos hanging on it. You also see a foot, and it's the bottom of a very expensive pair of men's dress shoes, and they belong to somebody sitting in a chair. It's a large chair, borderline a throne the way it looks, mahogany wood. There's a man in perfectly pressed white pants, double-breasted jacket, unbuttoned so he's comfortable while he's sitting. Coiffed gorgeously, not a hair out of place, white hair. A blue button-down collared shirt that has one button too many unbuttoned and a little bit of his chest hair showing, and some sort of jewelry gold medallion there. Perfectly folded handkerchief in the breast of the double-breasted jacket. Mr. Spade, the 4 of you might as well just come in.
So I'm going to stand up, close the mirror, stick it in my pocket, walk over, hop onto the bed, look out the window, and then look over and go, how do you sleep with a window that big? I mean, the second the morning sun hits, this entire room lights up like it's Christmas.
So you have seen this man before. This, of course, is Constantine Stamos. He's on TV. He's in all of the gossip magazines. World-renowned philanthropist, throwing money around like it's being replenished by the day. He swings the chair around. What exactly are you and your little children doing at my party?
Well, you see, we have a bet. Mela down there thinks you're trying to sell the weapon of mass destruction for a lot of money. I think you're trying to sell the antidote. And we got $100 on this. So could you tell us which one's right?
Oh, you want me to monologue and tell you exactly what my plans are? Is that what you're looking for, Mr. Spade?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. We've got, what, at least, 20 minutes until, people notice that you're missing from the party? Or actually, did you ever show up to the party? Because I don't remember seeing you when I was down there.
You are a pretty seasoned individual, and you have encountered some pretty bad people. People that, in a place you don't talk about with other people, that scare you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What is a little unsettling about Mr. Stamos is the fact that he is in this room alone, not only with you, but the other 3 of you, and seems completely at ease, completely unaffected by the fact that he's outnumbered. He casually stands up from his chair, he yells down to the half staircase and goes, "The 3 of you might as well come up."
I gotta say, Mr. Stamos, this is a fine bachelor pad you got here.
It makes a
Very
phenomenal third home. I agree. Now, if I remember correctly, Mello, you prefer Scotch. Mr. Spade, if it's my understanding, you're more of a bourbon man. Clara, I'm not even keeping track of whether it's a Monday or Tuesday. Is it red wine or white wine today?
Actually, I think I'll join him on the bourbon.
Very good. And unfortunately, Mr. Wiseman, I do not have a blender up here. So what would you like me to make for you, sir?
You have any Crystal Pepsi?
I do not. And he casually
Darn.
walks over to what looked to be just like a side table, and he hits a button somewhere hidden, and you see it rotate. The entire wall rotates, and a full bar comes around on the other side, and he's starting to make the 4 of you a drink.
Mr.
All those
Stamos,
bottles and no Crystal Pepsi? Man, this place is lame.
I gotta definitely put this in my spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we have one of those?
Well, we
I
will.
have to say, Miss Wilson, based on the intelligence that I've gotten from you, is this your B team?
Ooh, now, Come on, we're trying to be a friendly conversation up here, Mr. Stamos. I mean, just because, you got this glass super pad, we're not the one, okay? This is definitely, they called us in because we mean business. And besides, I need to take his $100.
So he's got his back to you guys as this is happening, as he's talking to you. And without turning around, he goes, they didn't mention how talkative you would be, Mr. Jackson. So again, Miss Wilson, I assume you're the leader of this, whatever this is. What the hell are you doing in my villa? You hear the clinking of the ice as it drops in the glasses.
Clara is going to take her time walking across the room and head over to the large glass window and kind of look out at the ocean or the sea for a moment. I think what you should be more worried about is the fact that we were able to get in here at all. Now, I feel how calm you are apparently acting to be in this moment, but we all know that this was not a part of your precious little plan for us to join you for a drink.
So he acknowledges that you spoke words and has a tiny little tray with 4 drinks on it. Doesn't respond, just casually walks over, hands Jack his drink, hands Jackson his. He hands Wiseman a soda water, but it's almost more of a fruit salad. He's put a lime on there, an orange, just a couple cherries in it. There's a little bit of red Shirley Temple syrup in there.
Yeah, Gavin, I really got to teach you how to drink.
And then
Curly straw.
Curly straw, exactly. I'm sorry,
Right
Mr.
on.
Weissman, but I'm out of umbrellas. He walks over to you, Clara, and you're the last drink on the tray. He lifts it up, hands it to you, and the tray goes down to his side. He goes, do you have any idea who you're working for? And what they are doing to this planet? You don't appear to me to be and he kind of looks you up and down, a globalist.
We all have our own reasons for joining alliances that we have.
And what makes you think that Project Medusa is any safer in their hands than in mine or any of the potential buyers downstairs? Do you know what those governments you work for have done?
I can only imagine the atrocities, and I never said that I thought that it would be safer in their hands. Now, all I'm concerned about is who is paying us to retrieve it.
I can give you a file on every one of the world leaders that you're working for, but that's other business. And as far as me being surprised, do you think that those clues that I left at your hotel were a mistake? I know the minute you were hired. I knew that you were a wild card that I couldn't contend with, so I figured the safest thing to do was to get you to come here. Now, the one thing I didn't anticipate, and I didn't read in my dossiers on you, is your background with Volkov. So that was a miss on my part. Well done. And I do need to talk to our staff manager because I didn't realize she had embedded my staff with a bunch of ninja waiters.
We do security consulting. If you need anyone to come in and give you suggestions on how to better secure your facility, because obviously your current security manager is not doing well. We have very reasonable rates, especially for someone of your caliber.
Noted, Mr. Spade. You can send your CV to my headquarters if you'd like me to consider you for that job. Now, drink up. I do need to apologize for what will happen next, but just understand that there's important things that need to happen, and I need the four of you not to be involved.
Oh, so we're going that route. And I slam back my scotch and put it down. You know, Mr. Stamos, I've grown up all my life, and people ask why I do this. Because the world is full of bullies. Some come with leather jackets. Some live in high-end, super rich, blobbity boo. And I just hate bullies. So if we're going to do this, let's do it.
He kind of rolls his eyes at you, Mello, and he goes, I'm not going to do anything. And pouring out of the bedroom door come a security team, as well as more of those bodyguards you saw spread around guarding elevators and such. Now, tell me, I already read the book. I know what happens on the last page. The only thing I don't know is whether we're going to do this with you conscious or unconscious.
You know, Stamos, the thing about people such as yourself, that they try to isolate themselves from the world, but they really don't realize they need the world and the common folk to take care of things like, and I pull up the little detonator, like gas tanks exploding, and I blow it.
Well, you hit the button.
Ah, I hate you, Craig. I hate you, Craig. I hate this game.
He goes, oh, Mr. Jackson, that took us 4 minutes to find and to figure out.
Damn it.
And just more people, very large people, keep pouring out of the bedroom. So I'll ask you again. I know how the story ends. In one version, you're awake, alive, and come out the other end of this. In another version, I have to bury things, and I don't care to do that. And slowly the room is closing in on you. Like these bodies are slowly, just casually, just moving closer and closer to the four of you.
So, Craig, here's my answer. Here's my question: the bedroom and how it's situated. Is it like looking over the ocean?
It is.
Like, is it over the ocean?
It is. The ocean's probably about a good 50, 60 feet down.
Okay.
That's not an impossible job.
I give the team the look. Well, we can do it the hard way, or we can be gangster. And I pull out my 45 and shoot the windows out. And we got to go. And we jump out the window.
Well, you're getting ahead of me, my friend, because you pull your gun out, you shoot at the windows, and bullets ricochet onto the ceiling. And very quickly, you stop shooting.
This is not good, Craig.
Mr.
I
Mello,
was standing there.
put the gun away.
Excuse me. I need this to be a learning experience. I'm going to get off of the bed. I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to point to the open door that you mentioned was open to the veranda when we walked in.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So, well, that was to the front, right?
Oh, was that the front?
Yeah, he
Okay,
does not. No, he doesn't have a balcony here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The only other door here appears to be maybe a bathroom by the size of the door, and then this master bedroom.
Sorry, I misunderstood. The way you described it, I thought it was a door going out to a balcony. So,
what are we doing? They don't seem interested in throwing punches. They do all have very punchable faces. Stamos being at the top of that punchable face list.
mm-hmm.
You are outnumbered roughly 3-1, I would say.
And we got a man with 1 grid left.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit better, but I'm not sure I'd stay up in this fight either.
All
I
right,
think
Stamos. Oh, go ahead, Claire.
I think
Claire.
Clara is kind of gonna give everybody kind of that like mom eyebrow of don't do anything else, stupid.
I was being dramatic.
I know.
So the first few men and women from this bodyguard and security detail that get to each one of you very gently turns you around to face away from them. And they put handcuffs on you.
Clara's gonna slam her drink before she lets them touch her and put her in handcuffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink my drink as well.
And then you're kind of lined up facing the ocean. Gavin, you realize that the windows are electrified. So it's a good thing nobody touched them. We just shot at them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel it right about here, the little pinprick in all four of your necks.
Is that sodium pentothal?
Oh, that's a really good. That's a really good drink. And the room starts spinning, and then you go black. So do me a favor, restore all your grit.
Woohoo.
You wanted a timeout? I'm going to give you one.
Not like this, Craig.
The next thing you feel is not that luxurious Turkish rug you were standing on. The next thing you smell is not that beautiful Mediterranean sea air. You feel cold concrete under you. You're sitting. And you can literally feel the concrete on your tushes. Because it looks like you're down to skivvies. And you twiddle your fingers in the handcuffs, and you can feel other fingers. The four of you quickly realize that you are in a nice little 4-point star, back to back, handcuffed and tied, in a very, very dark room. I want a roll, and I think I want it from Clara. Clara, can you give me a focus detect, if you would? I just need a basic success.
All right.
2 basic. So I'm going to give you something a little bit extra here.
Okay.
Smelling the air, you pick up a few things. 1, you no longer smell the sea. You have been relocated. You've got a rough sense of time, and it could have been minutes, hours. Jesus, it could be days. You realize that whatever they put into your neck and into your veins puts you out. It's totally dark. You open your eyes, each of you, and you can literally see nothing. Clara, what do you want? What question do you have for that other basic that I can answer?
I guess we know that we're handcuffed and tied back to back. Can I make out maybe a crack of light under a door so I can orient where an exit might be?
Definitely. Let's spend that basic. And it's very faint. The seal on that door is tight. And I think just about anybody but you probably would have missed it. But it is off a little bit to your left. The width of the door and the seal that's on that door tells you you are behind some sort of very thick door. And the other thing I'll say is that as somebody moves, and you get a rough idea that this room might be 15 foot square. Hard to tell, but it's small. But you can tell the way that the sound reverberated, that the floor is concrete, and probably the walls and ceiling are as well. Jack, Gavin, Mello, you wake up. Same scenario.
Okay. So I got a quick process question for you. You said clear the grit. Do we still have our conditions, or did those clear as well?
Remind me what conditions you have, Jack.
I have hurt.
Yes, you can clear that.
I have like the fool.
No, I think you need to keep that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Gavin.
Tracks.
Wow, this is going exactly according to plan. Everybody okay?
Who's playing?
Yeah.
Definitely not ours.
At least they were nice enough not to use a taser.
Yeah, the tasers really hurt. Yeah, they definitely leave marks. That was definitely. Yeah, this sucks right now.
Just glad I didn't see the needle coming in. I would have passed out just from that.
So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to advance all four of you. So bring up your character sheets for me. I'd like you to quickly take a look at your skills. You can add a dot to 2 different skills. You can also give yourself another adrenaline.
Yay.
Woohoo.
Oh, good.
This is
I'm
officially the
out.
turning point of our campaign.
Okay.
Take a point and endure. Take a point in detect.
All right. Endure and detect for Gavin. Clara, what are you going to add your 2 to?
Endure and awareness.
Nice. How about Jack?
So I did fight for one of them, and I'm still trying to decide on the second one. I think I'm going to go detect with the second one.
Smart. Mello?
I did shoot and survival.
Very nice. Good choices, team. Good choices. That floor is cold. Your clothes are gone. Thank God they left you with a little bit of modesty. Gavin, what kind of underwear you have? What does Gavin wear?
Probably tidy whities.
Do they have your name written on anywhere in them?
You know,
Grammatical.
yeah, probably. And a day of the week. Hey,
Thursday
stay
and it's Saturday.
like to stay organized, you know. Reduce the
Limited
level of
edition.
decisions you have to make in the morning. You know, whose underwear are these? Mine. What day is it? Wednesday. Boom. Decision made.
Absolutely perfect. I've given you all the information you're going to be able to glean in your current situation.
Chances are we're probably underground, given it being a completely concrete room.
Yeah. And I don't smell the ocean anymore, so
We're definitely inland.
yeah. Gavin, you don't have to remember when you were doing your background check any buildings that he may have owned.
I mean, dude's got like 17 shell companies. Throw a dart at a map. There's a 50% chance he owns that building.
So,
Miss Clara, you wouldn't happen to be wearing a push-up bra, would you?
I see where you're going. If we can get one hand out of one of these handcuffs, then we could get the wire out and probably use that.
so my question is, are we handcuffed? So is it we're each in one set of handcuffs and then those are all basically tied together? Or is it that I've got one hand in one handcuff and Mello has a hand in the same handcuff?
So it's more like the latter, which is going around the horn, there's Jack. To your right is Clara. To your right is Gavin. To your right is Mello. And then to Mello's right is Jack. Each hand is in a different handcuff, handcuffing you to the person to your left and to your right. And then it appears there's another set of handcuffs keeping all 4 sets clamped together. So you are handcuffed to each other and collectively on all 4 of you. And you figure that very quickly. Your hands are all tickling each other as they're so close.
Okay, I want to try to do the dislocate your thumb trick.
I'm thinking that too.
Pull, get it out of the handcuff.
Interesting. So I feel like this would have to be a probably crime dexterity roll.
Okay.
So maybe we should farm between the 4 of you. Who has the best chance of maybe dislocating
I can
thumbs?
dislocate your thumb if you want me to.
Dislocate
fact-
his thumb.
It would make my day.
Oh my god!
Gavin, you got a little anger issue going on right now.
Not I could do it, but I could dislocate
Just
your
do
thumb.
it for you. Right.
Let me do it for you.
These hands are my tools.
Yeah.
You can't do
Yeah,
his.
All right, is it going to be Jack?
I got
I could-
mine is 4 dice. I
I'm
have
3.
crime.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess it might be Clara that's dislocating her thumb because I've got 5.
Ooh.
I've got 6,
Oh.
Oh,
which is why I'm offering to dislocate Jack's thumb for him.
So whoever does it is going to get an additional die because we're going to figure all hands are there assisting and holding and gripping. So it sounds like Clara and Gavin are the best ones to try to slip out.
I'll save your
Mhm.
precious thumbs. We may need them later.
Clara, have you done this before?
No, but I think I read some survival
Hey.
books.
Listen. Put the books away. This is going to hurt like a son of a bitch. So I'm going to need you to focus right now. Concentrate your breathing.
Mellow,
Just-
sugar, I need you to understand that I'm an adult woman. I have handled a lot of physical pain in my life.
Okay. I'm just trying to help you out.
But I appreciate
listen
the
to the
breathing
guy who-
reminders.
So I've got this image with all of your hands behind your back, and
Mhm.
Clara's giving me mellow, honey, tapping on his hand.
I'm just trying to help out.
Oh.
I got this whole martial arts thing. I've been doing it. Yeah.
She's not mad at you. She's just disappointed that you don't trust her.
I trust her. I'm just trying to
Thank you, Jack.
get their mind right.
So in a moment, I am going to, from Clara, I'm going to get what did we say? We said a crime dexterity roll plus 1 die because you've got 3 goofballs that are going to help you along that. Before you roll those dice, before we hear the crack of your dislocated thumb, let's take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. right, so Clara, again, it falls on you. Oh, let's see. I need a critical
up.
from you with a
Oh, boy.
crime dexterity roll, please.
With an extra, right?
You're going to get an additional die. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm doing shift first and +1.
Bad news is you got just a basic. Good news, you got 4 more die.
All right.
Little pushy push.
Ooh.
Nobody had any doubts. There is the exact critical. I don't think your thumb makes a noise. My question is, Clara, is do you?
I think she tries to psych herself out. Kind of that, like, I'm going to do it on 3, and then she does it on 2. So because of that, there is a small yelp that comes out.
See, that's why I do it.
And you
I try to
pull
give
your
you a
hand
warning.
out. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mello.
I try to give you a warning. It's going to hurt more than you think it is.
I know.
So Clara, your hand slips right out of the handcuff, and you look at your hand, and your thumb is just dangling at an angle that I can't mimic because it's not natural.
What? Well, all right. Gavin, you said something about the wire in the bra. We're going to focus on that now so I don't focus on how much this hurts.
Yeah, give me that wire. I can get these
Okay.
cuffs off.
She's going to try and use her nail to kind of dig into the lace and pull the underwire out.
So
of the bra.
underwire comes right out. You've got it, Gavin. It's probably a good, I would say, probably 7 inches of pretty sturdy wire.
And
Perfect.
Clara, I think you had something about the adrenaline coursing through your system.
Oh, that's right. During the
Adrenaline.
break,
Yes.
Clara, you were handing adrenaline to somebody. Who was it?
Yes, I'm giving an adrenaline to Mello for the classy way he handled walking in on a couple getting up to some funny business.
Thank you. I'll take it.
So you hand the wire to Gavin.
Can you do anything with it with both of your hands still cuffed, or do I need to do something first? I've never picked a handcuff before.
Oh, I've done this plenty of times.
Speaking of funny business.
Yeah, he was dating Venom.
Hey,
Lady
hey.
Venom. Apparently. Talk about that one later.
It's called the Volkov.
Yeah, so I would like to pick the handcuffs with this underwire. I'm guessing that's crime dexterity.
Well, yeah, and I think if it was just one set of handcuffs, I wouldn't even make you roll for it, Gavin. But let's go ahead and make it a 2
Since
basic.
it's,
Yeah, it's 4, right?
5.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's just do a 2 basic real quick. What could go wrong? You'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. What could go wrong? So I jam the underwire into my palm.
As you roll, and for those of you that may not remember, it escalates up in 3s, right? So you have a basic, which is a pair, and then a critical counts as 3 basics. I asked for 2. So Gavin, you have no trouble. We hear click, click, click as all of these handcuffs start to be unclipped, thanks to the underwire from Clara. What do we want to do with that extra basic? What little sousson can I put on top of this success?
Uh,
I have an idea. I'll throw at you. Which
yeah, hit me with it.
Which is that if you ever encounter handcuffs again, that is any way involves Stamos, you don't need to roll ever again. After doing it 4 times.
Yeah,
that
seems...
Is that fair?
Yeah.
So I've got 4 amazing, competent best in the business in a dark room somewhere that apparently doesn't smell like the Mediterranean Sea. But you are free of your handcuffs. And the important bits are covered.
If we feel around the room, is there anything else in here?
Is there a
So
light
you
switch?
start to feel around the room and you find benches bolted to the wall. Okay. Some sort of cell, right? Okay, that makes sense. You go over to what you know to be the door because you notice that light barely leaking out. There is no features on that door. No windows, no handles, nothing. What I want to know is, how does Clara react to the fact that there's 3 dog dishes of water by that door?
Clearly, this is an insult.
I do want like a lime on the corner of one of the dog dishes, though.
That one's for Gavin.
That one's mine.
I was going to say, so at least
And
you
how come
haven't
there's only
lost his respect,
3?
because she clearly hasn't lost his respect yet, and he's implying that we're just her 3 little lapdogs.
Oh, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna kill him.
Because there were only 3, not 4.
Yeah.
We know one of them was Gavin's. Who did he leave out, right?
I'm gonna kill him. This is
There'll be time for that.
all right. So
You can't even see your hand in front of your face.
Silver lining, there's a decent chance that they brought us closer to Dr. Khan.
There's
Why would they
Constantine
waste?
for you.
Why would they waste splitting their security detail to multiple buildings in random locations when they could have Dr. Khan somewhere and they could have us in the same place? I do wonder if they found the brother.
Yeah, we did.
Probably.
Because either he's stuck in the back of a van right now, or
4 weeks later.
4 weeks later,
Yeah.
right?
Hello.
Can Stamos recapture me? It was better.
no.
I'm trying to think here, and I think Jack, the type of work that you've done in your career, you've been at multiple altitudes.
Mhm.
You have been in the jumping out of the highest planes and in the deepest tunnels. I think barometrically, you're able to assess that Clara's theory at the very beginning that she mentioned is right. You guys are definitely deep underground based off of the air pressure.
Yeah, I was also thinking the echoing, implies that we've got a lot of material around us that's absorbing the sound as we're moving
100%
around and
correct.
talking. I'm going to go over to the door, and I'm going to tap on it while listening to it. What I'm trying to figure out is, does it sound like there's a hallway, or does it sound like we're in a bunker and this is actually like a door to the side of a cliff?
So you kind of tap on it, knock on it a little bit, right? Get your ear, because you're realizing the tap is giving you nothing.
Right.
Right. So that you escalate the noise, and it gets to the point where you start slamming your hand against it with your ear against it. And I don't know where the hell you are, Jack, but whatever this is in front of you, this door is thick and solid, because you are not getting any sense of what's on the other side.
Yeah, so I can't tell if we're in a hallway or if we're like on a cliff face. I'm not getting anything through this door.
This is worse than the North Korean stuff. Remember that one?
You gotta use your outside voice, Mello. I can't hear you.
I said, this reminds me of the North Korean thing.
Yeah.
Was that first mission? Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad too.
Yeah. So I feel around on the outside of the door and see if there's any kind of panel, any kind of just anything that we can use to possibly get out of here.
Man, as you're running your hand across the edges of this wall, Mellow, you miss it at first. That's how tight the seal is. And you have to go back and realize, and slowly you can barely feel the edging of this door. The door itself is probably a good 10 feet wide. Like, this is a good sized door. And I would only imagine it would be disconcerting for you. I don't know, like, just how crafted and solid this cell that you're in. But you hear a radio crackle coming from above, maybe in one of the corners of the rooms, the far corners. We know you're free. Put your noses on the far wall. We have bologna sandwiches.
Oh, shit. Not bologna sandwiches. Damn it.
That shit'll kill you.
Oh, you never know when you're going to get your next meal, so I'll go over.
Yeah. This is definitely military stuff here. So.
Yeah.
All right, so Jack does as instructed, puts his knees up on the bench on the far wall, puts his nose, and it touches the cold concrete. Sounds like Mellow follows suit.
Yeah.
If they're doing it, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Clara's gonna flip off in the direction of that radio sound that probably has a camera, and then go do it.
As soon as Clara's nose touches that concrete, you hear a clear series of clink, clonk, clink, clonk, clink, clonk, as a series of locking mechanisms release on that door.
Gavin, did you count how many there were?
Oh yeah.
And we hear a of concrete scraping against concrete as the door starts to open, and light floods from the door to the point where you have to close your eyes because it's blinding after being in this pure darkness. We have guns. Don't move if you want to eat.
Any hint of accent or something
When
that
you're
might
GM, you have
identify?
no idea what the
Yeah. I was like, are these little green men? Or,
right. Can we get a dumpling?
do
Is
they
Area
have
51?
auto-tuning?
Despite my accent, they are human. Vaguely Mediterranean. Let's leave it at that. But understand, if my accent changes, their accent doesn't. It's just me.
Yeah, no problem.
And you hear footsteps. I want to say maybe at least 3 or 4 sets of footsteps. You can tell that they've cracked the door because even with your eyelids closed, you can get a sense of the light that's penetrating even through your closed eyes. As you start to hear metal sliding against the bottom of the concrete floor. Maybe those are metal trays. I see you moving. Nobody move.
So are we just like staying here forever, or is there a good behavior early release program?
My recommendation is that you really enjoy this bologna sandwich.
Okay. Could I just ask one favor? Could you sing We Represent the Lollipop Guild?
And we're not eating sandwiches.
You hear one of the guys goes, he goes, it's not funny.
Are there kosher options on this flight, or?
Enjoy your sandwiches.
Uh,
You start to hear the door sliding closed.
Okay. So as soon as I start to hear it close, I'm going to get up. I'm going to rush over. And I'm going to grab the sandwich, and then we're going to try to push the tray to jam it into the track.
Ooh, I like that, Jack. I like that. And as you reach over and you grab the bologna sandwich, you also with your left hand grab that tray and you realize these are thick, sturdy trays. And maybe that's what gives you the idea to slide it that way.
Yeah.
So what is your approach here? I'm going to need 2 basic for you to be able to jam that door.
Okay, I'm thinking brawn force.
Love it. I asked for 2 basic, and that's exactly what you rolled.
So
Do you want to push it and risk a basic for a little bit of juice? Are you happy?
No, I'm happy.
So the 3 of you hear Jack move like a cat, the way he always does. And in one smooth movement, you can hear the metal scraping against the concrete. You hear the going on as the clang as the door hits the tray. Get that tray out of there.
That's our cue.
I'm sitting there eating the sandwich.
So let's go ahead and go initiative. So Jack has gone. I need Clara, Gavin, and Mello.
All right. So I see my man Jack do his old man Panther move. Slide the tray, eat the sandwich like, yeah. So I run into the voice to the Lollipop Guild guy, and I start a fight. So I'm gonna do brawn and force as well.
All right, so brawn and force. So with brawn and force, it doesn't sound like you're fighting them. What are you trying to do here?
Uh,
Kind of push through that door?
yeah, try to push through the door, get us out, try to at least get a foothold outside of the door.
So this security team that you're encountering, and you immediately see there's at least 5, there's maybe 6 of them as you kind of like slide over past Jack as he takes a second bite of his sandwich, and you kind of push yourself through the crack in the door that he put because of that tray. Their defense is critical, so I just need a critical for you to be successful.
All right.
All right, you start to push through. They're pushing up against you. You've got 2 basic. I need at least 3 basics for this to work.
All right. I'm gonna do free reroll because this is martial arts.
I don't
No?
think it
No.
is, unfortunately,
Okay.
Mello. So yeah, you're gonna have to risk it in order to push this.
All right, here we go. Re-rolling. Here we go.
There we are. We've got a critical plus a basic. That's gonna knock a grit off of one of them. You're able to push through. You are halfway out the door, knocking one of them backwards as they go. You've got a little bit of extra juice there because you've got an additional basic. What do you want me to give you for that extra basic?
Just a foothold outside, so I have a little room to battle.
So let's have this. They're not going to be able to close this door without closing it on the metal tray. They got to get rid of 2 obstructions now, the metal tray and you as well. So you're well established, broken through that. Clara or Gavin, what are we doing?
I was told not to fight. So I'm eating my bologna sandwich.
You go over and find your bologna sandwich. You give kind of the it could be worse nod over to Jack as he's eating his.
Clara would like to use one of her intuition feat.
Ooh, okay. And talk to me.
So this is the one that is, you notice hidden details that other people miss, and I get to use it as a quick action as the feat.
And if I remember correctly, it allows you to figure out a weakness, right?
Yeah, so I can ask for a clue or a suggestion to find, or find the weak spot of an enemy.
All right, which of those 3 do you want?
The weak spot.
All right, so let's do a quick roll for a weak spot. All right, so what you got is you can draw an enemy into a trap by rolling crime plus street. If you succeed, the group skips the next reaction turn. Holy shit.
Oh,
That is good.
that's the right there.
So if you want to give me a quick crime street roll, against their critical defense, they do not act. And you guys get to act twice. Holy Christmas.
That's nice right there.
Cannot argue that because I've figured out that we're going to set this trap and I'm going to outsmart them, that I could use my other feet so that I could use no instead of
no question.
streetwise.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right, Clara? Is that you are more brains than brawn. So no question. So you want to use no plus street.
So it would be crime and no instead of streetwise.
Oh, crime and no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Crime plus no to be able to set a trap that stops all of them from being able to cause you to react.
Yes.
And I need a critical. That's their defense. I mean, I don't know.
Oh.
Why do we even make you roll?
Right.
Give it to her.
So I'm super interested about what this is. So somehow you have noticed something. You've used your sense of dexterity and crime, plus of what's your knowledge of things. Mello has got the door trapped with his body, as well as the tray that was laid there by Jack. And you're going to do something that stops them from reacting to what's happening.
Clara has clocked that these security guards, they're not the top of the food chain. They have left us to be guarded and fed by the guys that have just basically made it past the bar.
Fisher Price, my first security detail. Yep.
Exactly. So
Talk about B team, huh?
Right.
it's yet again another insult at us that
Right.
they're babies first. The security can take care of us. So Clara is going to take one of the bowls of water and she's going to use the sliver of door that is open and she's going to toss the water through the doorway into the face of the security guard that's in front of Mello so that he can
The one with the lime in it. The one with the
Yeah.
lime in it, so it burns his eyes.
exactly.
So I love this idea because like they were anticipating let's just give them their bologna sandwiches, right? Suddenly someone slides a tray in there. Now I've got this huge dude that's blocking the door, and out of nowhere this woman is throwing stuff through the crack of that door, and all of them flinch. They just go like this, like did they think there was acid? I don't know what they were thinking, but they all react. So they get no reaction roll. Gavin, you get you get your action, and then everybody else gets in fresh action after
Nice.
this. Well done.
Nice.
So now that we have light in this cell,
Mhm.
I'm looking for that camera or that speaker or both that was in here.
You see both. So you see a CCTV camera right next to it, kind of like one of those old wooden framed speakers with the round wire face on it.
Cool. I don't know what I was gonna do with that, but
But I know where it is.
that was step one. Then there's a bunch of question marks, and then there's step three.
There's a reason that the top line on Clara's character sheet is the brain.
Yeah. No, I'm just just cool. It's there. No, I think Mello's kind of in the doorway, and I am going to take the little cellophane bag that this bologna sandwich was wrapped in and just tuck that in my waistband.
You got it.
And then I'm going to eat the bologna sandwich because Mello said not to get into a fight. He is, I'm more afraid of him than these guards.
So you guys are back at the top of the order. All four of you have full actions. These guys are like, oh, and Mello, you're half in and half out. Clara's throwing dog dishes at them, causing them to keep flinching, even though they have guns. They're afraid of the woman throwing the heavy metal water dishes in their defense.
I kind of need Mello out of the way a little bit.
Yeah, so I take this opportunity to step fully into the hallway, and it's time to fight.
All right. So
So,
as you step into the hallway, Mello, you can
Yeah.
see these cheap fluorescent lights that run along the ceiling on this long hallway that you're in. Just more freaking concrete. There's chipping paint of a yellow line that is some sort of decoration to break up the concrete. You've got 6 guys all standing there, just kind of shielding their heads as Clara keeps throwing water dishes at them. So it sounds like you're going to give them a swing.
swing. So brawn and fight.
Their defense is critical, and you got 3 basic. That is a critical. So you've used all your dice. You're not going to want to re-roll this because there's nothing to re-roll. That knocks a box off of them. They've got 4 boxes left. I'll warn you, their next box gives them a hot box.
I'm going to burn. I have a skill called combo.
Okay.
After it strike, there's always another faster than the first. So I can burn an adrenaline to take off an extra grit.
Oh, very nice. That's
So
gonna take-
I have 2 grits. I'm going to 2 adrenaline. I'm gonna burn both of them.
Read it to me again. I don't know if you can do both. Let's read it again.
It says where we at? After hitting an enemy, you can spend 1 adrenaline to deal an additional grit. You can spend several to continue the combo to deal additional damage.
Oh, very nice. So they're going to take 2 additional grit damage. They've only got 2 left. Now, let me take a look. They've got a hard to kill. They just shrug off the pain and keep on fighting without backing down. When the enemy reaches a hot box, they get 1 adrenaline as usual, but lose no additional grit. So I'm going to take that back from you. They do pick up an adrenaline. So they do have 3 grit left.
Okay.
But you are so. I want to visualize this, Mello. You break through the door. You are surrounded by 6 dudes that are all kind of flinching. What do you do? What's this combo look like?
So the first one, the opening move is always, a nice little front kick to give me some space to roam. I follow that up with a spinning backhand, and then follow that with a strike to the throat.
Very,
I'm
very nice.
I am
see-
doing the Kempo. I'm doing the Tiger right now.
There are bodies bumping into bodies, bruises and punches being thrown as we go through it. Gavin, Clara, and Jack, you hear the chaos that's happening outside of this cell.
Okay. So I know what my next plan is going to be. I am going to lean out. I'm going to grab one of the rifles that's strapped to the guy, and I'm going to yank him as hard as I can into the door, try to snap the strap off of him.
Ooh, what are you thinking? What's the approach for that? Do you
I'm
think,
thinking
Jack?
brawn force.
Love it. Brawn force, criticals their defense.
Yeah.
You're going to
So
pick
what-
yourself up a nice little rifle. That's a basic plus a critical. You grab that gun, you pull him in, his face goes right into the edge of the door as we hear the snapping of the strap around his body as you pull that Soviet era rifle into your
AK-47.
possession.
Yeah.
You've got an additional basic. What juice do you want for this? How do you want to spend that basic?
So I originally assumed I would be spending the basic to get the rifle as opposed to the strap.
Oh no, you've got it.
Okay. So then I'm just going to continue the momentum so that I'm clearing the door so that Gavin and Clara have the ability to do something without me in the way.
Let's have you not only break the strap, but in the process, he comes falling into the cell, right? So there's no obstructions. There's nothing Clara or Gavin have to do to get out. And if for some reason, if Mello wants to get back in, there's nothing obstructing it. We still have the tray at the bottom blocking the door. All right, I've got Clara and Gavin. Full turns before we get a reaction roll.
How many more grits do they have? Great.
They currently have 3 grit left. Oh, no, that's going to burn a
No.
grit on them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They have 2 left.
Okay. Unleash the beast.
Come on, Gavin. Come on, Clara. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Clara's gonna try something.
Uh-oh.
Of course she is. I was just waiting for it.
This
I
is the
didn't
end of the
wanna,
combat, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yahtzee.
Finish my bologna sandwich.
Keep it in the vein of these are babies for security guards. She finds a young, bright-eyed looking one. Now, Clara is a beautiful woman. She is a former model. She's a former pageant queen. She is in her skivvies, and if she looks pretty damn good if she's being honest with herself. So she is gonna go and push him up against the wall and put her hand on the wall next to him, and she's gonna try and seduce him and see if she can grab a weapon off of him.
Absolutely love it. What's the approach, Claire?
I think that needs to be smooth flirt.
Love it. Smooth flirt. Need a critical. We got 2 basic. We have 2 die left over. Do you have a feat?
I have a feat that lets me get a free reroll, so I have Heartbreaker.
Risk nothing to reroll those last 2 die.
There we go.
Oh, we ended up with 3 basic. That gives us our critical. So,
Nice.
doe-eyed, he might be 18, 19 at the oldest. You push him up against the wall, and he's just like, this may be the first touch of a woman he's ever had. And we see the gun just slide off his shoulder as he starts to go limp. Not all of him is limp. And you grab the gun as it slides off of his shoulder. That is going to be another crit taken off. I don't know if he's interested in fighting you right now, Claire, or anybody else. He might be in love.
Well, she's just gonna like brush a little bit of his hair off of his forehead and go, "Thank you, sugar." Claire's got a gun. Claire got a gun.
Gavin, I don't want to fight Wiseman. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Pacifist over here.
So a fella just fell into the cell. I'm gonna pat him down for anything useful that I might take out of his pockets or on his belt.
Yeah, give
Key
me
cards,
what's the
set of
approach?
keys.
Yeah.
This is gonna be crime plus dexterity.
I buy it. Another Gavin pickpocket routine here.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever. Critical. He falls. You can see the blood where his lost a tooth as he hit that concrete floor that Jack, when he pulled him in and threw him to the ground and took his gun. You start patting him down as Jack is standing over him. What do you want to find, Gavin?
Ideally, like a radio or something of that nature.
Clipped to his belt is one of those brick.
Snap phone.
Yeah, a brick radio. It's going to be just it's not going to be a phone, but it'll be a radio. You're able to clip that off of him and clip it right to the back of your skivvies, right next to where your name ends, right next to the N in Gavin, on the back of your underwear. All right, so now it is time for some reaction rolls. I think we start off with our friend on the ground. Our friend on the ground, not happy with the fact that he's being frisked. He's going to take a swing at you. So if you could give me a brawn fight, Gavin. His attack is critical, so you need a critical to avoid taking 3 damage.
Um,
Let's spend some adrenaline.
I think I'm going to spend my spotlight, actually.
Ooh, to avoid the hit. Look at you. So you spend the spotlight. He grabs your ankle as you're frisking him down and taking his radio, and he's like sliding up to his knees and is going to give you the cleanest, nastiest uppercut to the bottom of your chin. We focus in just on this interaction. You are going to avoid getting hurt, and you're going to get that's 3 criticals that you're just spending with a spotlight. So you're going to get 2 additional criticals that you can spend and you can share with everybody else. But walk me through how he does not connect with the bottom of your chin.
I think Gavin was luring him into this punch, being very slow with his movements on the frisking down, and so as he is getting ready for the uppercut, Gavin grabs one of those dog dishes and slams it on his fist. And so he punches into the dog dish.
And we see the indentation on the inside of the dog dish of his fist as he punches right into that. All right, so first let's do your spotlight flip. So go ahead and spend that spotlight. It should flip a coin. On tails, you get to keep it. Hey. Lucky you. You recover that spotlight. You do not spend that spotlight. You have 2 criticals that you can spend now, or you can hold off on the other 3 reactions in case someone needs it.
And I can't use those criticals to do grit damage back to them, right? On a reaction?
On a reaction, you cannot, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think you can.
Nope. I will. I'll plan on handing those to my companions.
All right. So we hear the clang of this guy's fist into the dog dish. Next reaction roll. Clara, I think one of the guys who is not nearly as enamored by you grabs you by the back of your hair and is yanking you off of his friend, his doe-eyed friend. Let's get a brawn endure to avoid you being hurt by the fact that he's slamming your head against the opposite wall.
Ow.
Again, a critical attack here. So real quick, I'm talking to Allie now. You have feats. You do not have to feel guilty about using them. You just have to justify them.
I know. I'm thinking about the justification. Okay. That's where the is what is the justification for this here? Well, she does have a gun in her hand. I think that she could, as soon as she feels the grip on her hair, because I'm assuming that it's not a handgun. It was a rifle that was on like a strap, right?
Yep.
Bring the butt of that behind her. See if she can, at the very least, knock his arm grip away from her.
So you're thinking brawn, no, right? So you're still using your physical aspect, but your awareness of the situation, where everybody is. When you went in to overcome this gentleman that was in front of you, you didn't stop thinking about where everybody was. You could draw a picture right now on where everybody is. So I love it. So brawn, no. We need a critical to not get hit or hurt, I should say. That's it.
Look at
that. Asked like and answered.
This is like butter.
So walk me through that. What's that look like? So he grabs you by the back of the head. His intention is to slam you, the back of your head, into the hallway, the other wall of the hallway. He grabs you and
I bring the butt of the rifle back into his forearm, hitting the muscle there so that it kind of causes his grip to his hand to spasm. And she's going to say, I am not interested in a threesome right now.
And adrenaline, please. All right, I've got 2 more reaction rolls left. It's going to be real simple for you, Mello. Everybody wants to punch you in your face. So I need a critical brawn fight for you to avoid getting punched by one of these guards.
Brawn fight heard.
Ooh, that's a basic. You got 4 dice sitting around there, though.
I get the free reroll because of martial arts.
Got our 2 basic, but rumor has it is that there's a couple criticals kicking around somewhere. Does Gavin want to help Mello out?
Oh, yeah. Gavin throws one of the trays and intercepts the guy that's about to kick Mello in the back.
You're about to get kicked, and you realize that, like, blind spot. God damn it! Like, I thought I knew where everybody was, and you turn your back as you're seeing this guy
kidneys.
half kick. He's about to nail you, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we see a tray flying that just knocks his foot just past you, and it gets just on the other side of your hip. Last but not
And then I
least,
give Mello the thumbs up.
I look over. I look over him too. Just like in Africa.
And you see, Mel, this is why he plays for, disc golf.
Yeah, you're right.
exactly. All right. A flying kick comes through the door towards you, Jack. I'm going to need a brawn fight as well with a critical, not to take a foot to the face.
Sure.
Ooh, similar situation.
Okay.
You've got 2 basic. Do you have anything that's going to help you, or you're going to risk it?
I'm gonna have to risk it.
There it
There
is.
it is.
There it is. There's a critical plus a basic. Flying kicks coming at you. We now have the second guy entering the cell.
So, as the flying kick's coming toward me, I'm just going to, wax on and knock his leg into the door frame.
You knock his leg into the door frame. He flies back. How do you want to spend that extra basic? Because you're not going to need it for any more reaction rolls.
Right. So, walking positioning, people's positioning through my head. I want to spend it to. Can I use it to prep my next action effectively?
If you want to spend that basic to give you an extra die on your next action, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Perfect. Done deal. We're at the back at the top of the order. I've got all 4 of my action heroes ready to go. All of you have full actions. We've got a lower bunker security detail. All 6 of them on their last leg. They've got 1 grit left. Who's going first?
You might as well keep up with tradition and let Clara finish this off.
She can only do that after the 3 of you mess it up.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go.
All right. Jack, you block this kick. This guy goes flying in. You've got 2 of these 6 security guards on the ground. They're starting to get up again. One of them has a gun. The other one you have disarmed.
So I'm actually going to, as I finish it, bring my gun up and shoot the last guy that's outside.
Ooh, nice. The other 2 inside, we're not worried about them. They're on the ground. It's the guys outside fighting
right.
Clara, Gavin, and Mello. Let's give them a shot. So I assume that's going to be what, nerve shoot?
Yes.
Let's do it. I need a critical. As we hear the gunshot glare almost hurt your ears. That's 2 basic. 3
But
die.
I do have free reroll when using rifle, shotgun, submachine, and machine gun.
That is yours. What's the name of that feat?
That is, there are many rifles like yours, but nobody uses a rifle like you do.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's get that free reroll.
There it
Another
is.
situation critical basic. So that is going to be the last of this. They are done. The last one gets shot. The rest of them are on the ground. They're scurrying off.
Happy Mellow, I got a gun.
Very much so. Good shot. Good shot.
Let's get a better sense of the lay of the land. The cell is exactly as you expected. Now that light is bleeding into it, you've got benches bolted to the walls, wooden benches. There's somewhere 3 dog dishes, one with a lime still in it, another one with a fist imprint on it. Some of them are inside the cell, some of them are out. We've got the bodies of the C grade security team that was in charge of keeping you guys in order. You have a long hallway going in both directions of concrete. There's several cells along the way that you could see. There's fluorescent lights running across the ceiling. Gavin has one of the radios.
I grab any more rifles left. I grab a rifle.
Yep, you have a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly that's kind of what I was thinking was I was going to pull the magazine out of this one to give me a spare mag, and then switch rifle, so I've got one that actually has a working strap on it.
Perfect. We are
Okay.
still underweared.
Yes.
Any chatter on the radio?
No.
Okay.
Which tells you that this has gone unnoticed for now.
All right. Well, we definitely need to find some clothes and find our way out of here.
Well, we could
So-
strip down these security guards and take their outfits.
You said there's 6 of them, Greg?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So you strip them down, put some clothes on. Hopefully, you can find a pair of shoes that fit.
So, like, Jack, it takes you. It's the second guy that's about your size. You're
Yeah.
able to find that. Gavin and Clara, Clara, the guy that you made doe-eyed, turns out to be close to your size. So you're able to slip into his gear, put his shoes on. You're fine. Gavin, you find another one that's about your size, no trouble. We see Mello,
This-
and Mello, you try the next guy and the next guy, and every time you put on one of their shirts and jackets, you kind of pull your elbows close to each other, and we hear the tear of the sleeves as your muscles just burst through each of these outfits. Unfortunately, I think the best you might be able to do is to tear some of the legs off of one of the pants and wear them as shorts that can't be buttoned. But I don't know if you can cover anything more than that.
I'm going to grab one of the
Right.
shirts. Going to rip the sleeves off. And go. You don't have to button it up. It goes with
Okay.
the shorts.
So we see Mello in a military button-down, sleeves
off.
torn off, unbuttoned,
Yeah.
Looking like
His-
Under vacation.
as you thought you were straight chest, bursting through it, and the torn short shorts that he ends up wearing that don't button as well. But the other three of you, if the lights were turned off, could pass as guards.
Well, we can play the I'm your captive and get out of here.
That could work. We should also put all of the guards' bodies into the cell and close the door.
Yeah.
Okay, we could hit it with the old. We're moving this prisoner.
I still have
Not too-
handcuffs.
Yeah, not too tight, big guy.
So quick montage of the four of you dragging the bodies into the cell, closing the cell back up on our six friends. We put some handcuffs, but maybe don't clip them closed, but just kind of have Mello put it behind his back, kind of hold them. So if anybody glanced, it looked like he was handcuffed. The three of you putting your little security caps on as you kind of fit into these as best as you can. There's very Greek last names on each of your name tags across the breast of each of the jackets you put on.
So which
What do you say,
Head
Greg?
anyone
Yeah.
have any idea which way to go?
One way's as good as the other.
And you pick that one way that's just as good as the
Sure.
other. You start to walk down the hallway, and up ahead you can see a guy at a desk, and he's feverishly writing in some sort of book or journal.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm the president. Look. Oh. Get ready to fight.
It's all you, Gavin.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want me to do this?
He's got it.
Well, I would normally I would say yes, but given the fact that there were no female guards, that might blow our cover.
That's a good point.
Trust the
Gavin.
process.
He's okay.
Trust the
He's okay.
process. Straighten my
Trust the
sleeves
cat.
a little bit. So as we're approaching this desk, what else is in this room? Is it just like
It's
hallway
literally
terminates in
a
this room?
desk. Yeah, it's a desk at the end of a hallway. You can see another security door that has a keypad on it. This guy has got an old CRT monitor and a keyboard, and he's feverishly writing something in a book. As you approach closer, at the very top, it says "Dear Diary."
I just do the throat clearing noise.
Yeah. Are you new?
Yeah. Didn't you get the briefing?
No, and I know everybody that goes down to the prisoner hallway, and I did not see you go by. And who are these people with you?
Well, we're the special team. We're taking this guy in for interrogation. Now, can you clear this door so we can get him to the interrogation room?
Like his compadres, he has a critical defense. What is your approach here, Gavin?
My approach is smooth speech.
I think smooth speech is the right approach.
Unfortunately, I still look like a fool. So
You're still at
Not-
-1.
not doing great, but I'm gonna burn an adrenaline to
Make it
try
even.
to bring this home.
Just need a critical. He looks at you kind of quizzically.
So
He's not buying it
I-
at first, Gavin.
So, and then I will +1. So it should be a total of 5, right? Because my like a fool knocks it down by 1, but then my adrenaline pushes it back up to 1.
Correct.
So, yeah, smooth speech. Oh, I got it. Okay, cool.
Oh, no. Don't tell anybody, but I missed the briefing this morning. I overslept.
Yeah, I can tell.
And he slams the door, the door. He slams the book shut and kind of slides it aside, and he steps up and he put doot doot boot click click loop boop, and opens up the door.
I tell Mello, keyboard.
So I smash him over the head with the keyboard.
I just need one fight brawn for a critical to come out.
All right, here we go.
Too basic for your
All
reroll
right,
for
free
martial
reroll.
arts.
Yep.
The little known art of using a keyboard to get you a critical and a basic. We see Mello grab the keyboard and the wire snaps as you pull it up, and the keyboard comes slamming down on his head, and he up against the wall, and just slowly his back slides down. Gavin, as you're standing in the door that's now been opened, you see a series of a stairwell cases up in front of you. What stands out is the metal sign at the bottom, which is prisoner detention, Stamos Research Facility, Greek mines. Let's go to credits.
Oh,
We're back.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So Troy was just like, I got to figure out what I'm doing Thursday night so I can catch Sentinels. And I started gushing and caught myself because anybody who's on the Third Floor Wars patron Discord already knows this. Like, I just get over enthusiastic about every new game we're going to run. And so I caught myself and like, all right, granted, I say this about every game, but the Sentinels game coming up, I think is going to be just a next level game. The table is incredible. The four players have made amazing characters. They've built an incredible world. And I think I've taken all of the seeds that they gave me and planted a pretty cool garden for them to play in. All right. And that's going to be Thursday night. I want to say 7:00 p.m. But if you're on the socials, you already know what time it is because I put the schedule out there. Thoughts, stars, and wishes. I think I'm going to start with me real quick. Really only had kind of one big action scene. I will tell you that I loved the scene with Stamos. I love the fact that you guys assessed the situation, are like, you know what? This would not go well for us. And it just fit into that action movie genre. Like I felt like we were watching the scene in the action movie where everybody gets drugged and thrown into prison. And I loved the escape. Very clever thinking. You guys are starting to get very good at not just taking the obvious combo and approach. You're starting to get creative in your approaches. So even though action wise, this was one of the lower action episodes we've had, it's been one of my favorites. Donald, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
So I'm still enjoying this.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, well, so I will
I'm waiting
admit.
for episode 6 where he goes, this shit's garbage. I'm out.
Okay, so I will admit it's an adventure path, which those are a lot longer.
Yes.
But I've actually had that discussion with somebody that's starting a new campaign that's invited me in real life about, I'm not sure if I want to do that because I'm starting to get a little tired of the system because of how long I've been playing it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not feeling that this way. I know we had mentioned, not sure if this would do well for a long campaign, but I really do like the fact that, we keep the interest, we keep the action moving, everything keeps going. And I don't think anyone really, even when we're not part of the scene actively, I don't feel like we're just feeling like we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs until it's our turn.
It's quick enough, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as stars, I have to say it was the bedroom scene. Because the second you said it sounds like someone's hurt, I knew what was coming. And like the train wreck, I saw it in slow motion and I knew it wasn't going to stop till we got there.
I don't know where I got that from, but for some reason I'm like, and this is the GM thing, right? I'm going, all right, they're breaking into bedrooms. The first bedroom they break into has got to be two people having an affair during the party. That's great. All right, so wishes then, Donald. What are you wishing for? I'm anticipating we definitely aren't going to finish it off in 6, but I think it might be 7, might be 8. So we might have 2 or 3 more episodes left. What are you wishing for?
Honestly, at the moment, I don't know. At the beginning of the session, I was really wishing for a rifle because that's been one of my challenges. Is my character is a commando. He's built around being the team sniper.
Yep.
His equipment is a precision rifle that has all these bonuses when he has it. He has all this stuff about like his instead of having martial arts, I have mine with a rifle, and it specifically doesn't say pistol. So just grabbing a pistol off of sneaking a pistol into the thing. So, yeah, honestly, at the moment, I'm not quite sure what my wishes are for the next thing.
And the 4 of you have homework between now and when we play again, because, the only reason I didn't do this because it would take too much time. As part of the advancement, you also get a new feat. So we're going to go through the book and you guys can let me know in the next 2 weeks what new feat you want to add.
4 weeks.
All right. Is it 4 weeks or 2 weeks? Is it 4 weeks?
2 weeks is New Year's Eve, and I think we said we were going to skip that.
I think we did. Yep. Yeah, great. So, all right. So we'll meet in a month. So you guys got all kinds of time to figure out what your next feat is. Roger, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Oh boy, my turn, huh? Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. The one-liners, the snappy responses to every weird situation you throw us into. It's just a lot of fun that we can all be creative and not feel like we're locked into the same old roles, the same old optimized outcomes, optimized skill checks. Yeah, I mean, we've said it time and time again. It's a fun system to emulate this genre. Can't do everything with it, but it's not built to do everything.
Sure.
It's built to do one thing, and it does that one thing really well. And as long as you're focused on that, you're gonna have a good time.
So I'm gonna pause you for a second, Roger. Before we went live, you shared your 2024 statistics with us, and it was breathtaking. So for everybody watching that says, God, Craig loves role-playing games, I am a freaking amateur compared to Roger. So Roger, just off the top of my head, just
in public.
Random questions for you. How many sessions of RPGs were you a part of in 2024?
Including tonight, I'm at 175, and I've got like 5 more before the end of the year.
175. So be ready for the death threats, because there are people watching. They're like, I can't get people to meet me every 6 months, and this guy's played 173 games. So I do have to ask, what's the secret? So how are you able to find 173 games? And this is actually a serious question, because I know there's a lot of people that starve to play, and you play a lot. What's your secret?
I mean, I'm very fortunate in that I have a very understanding partner that gives me free time. Not gives me, but we communicate well.
Yep.
And so she plays some of those sessions with me, but most of them not. And so that's part of it.
How are you
I'm also very fortunate. Yeah. So I mean, that's the big thing, is just say yes when somebody offers a game, if you can make it work. Now the other thing is my schedule is very open. I'm available when other people are available, so that's a benefit. But even if you're only marginally interested, or I'm not sure about this, I've never played with this guy, or I've never seen him run a game, or I don't know what the table's going to be like, just go jump in. A good friend of mine, who from the channel, Lou, said that even a bad game can be a fun game if you learn something. So and Lou and I have been in a couple of bad games together, and we learned something. We had fun. And so jumping in and saying yes, offering to run stuff. I mean, about 45% of my game sessions have been games that I've run, and the other have been games that I've played in. So jump in, try it. I mean, it's all for fun. So it's not, what are you going to do? What are you going to screw up that is irreversible? This is fun. So just do it. Just, give it a shot.
It's really good advice, Roger. It's really good advice. An hour, 2 or 3 hours played in a suboptimal game is better than not playing at all. And I think Lou's advice that you've adopted is good advice. How many different RPG systems have you played in 2024?
Ooh, let me do 175 different game systems. Nope, that's play sessions.
That's play sessions. Yeah, I can't be right.
That 52.
You tell me
52.
That was
36 new, 52 total.
Insane. So, and half of them you ran, half of them that you played. My last question before I let you get to stars and wishes. What is top of your list to play or run in 25?
Getting ready to kick off a Wild Sea campaign. I'm pretty stoked about that.
So envious
but
of you.
the other thing that's really been in my wheelhouse right now is Cold City.
Talk to me about Cold
1950s Berlin plus supernatural elements. So it's an older game. I've run it years ago for a one shot for a local convention. So I'm dusting that off, and very interesting. Your intention is to have the PCs each be from a different country, so they
Nice.
have different agendas
Yep.
in this post World War II, you know, Berlin, and so there's a little bit of mistrust between the PCs, but there's a greater threat that they're all working.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
sort of have to work together to face. So,
very
yeah,
nice.
that's been up my alley right recently.
Hats off, Roger. And for those of you that are interested who enjoy watching Roger as much as I enjoy playing with Roger, Roger and I, along with two other players, including Naomi, who you guys know from several runs on the channel, and DK, a new player who's coming to the channel, who is, I'm predicting they're going to be one of the new stars as part of the stable of players here on Third Floor Wars. We are playing a gas station, which is a liminal horror survival. Bad things are going to happen in one session. We're going to play that just after Christmas. Roger.
Still
Stars
me,
and
huh?
Wishes. Yep.
Still got to come up with more stuff, huh?
Yeah, well, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me anything yet. I want, what was your star? What tonight? What's the moment that stands out? So if somebody asks you tomorrow, "Hey, man, I heard you played Outgunned last night on Third Floor Wars," what is the moment you would share with them?
I will say the star for me was also the Stamos confrontation.
Why?
Because you could see Mello trying. What about this angle? What about this angle? And it was like, nope.
I hate this game.
Yeah. And I have seen that go very poorly with the wrong table, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the GM's being an asshole. The GM won't let me play my character. Screw this game. Instead, the four of us all said, oh, yep, this is the situation we're in. This is the movie. This is the genre. This is the turn, like you said. And you're not going to just, take us out back and shoot us all in the head, end of campaign. Well, hope we had a great time. You're going to put us in a new situation that now we get to shine again and build ourselves back up to confront Stamos. So the table-wide acceptance of this is the situation, we get to have that interface with Stamos and it not go our way.
And just real quick from a GM perspective, so Stamos has a very special position in the campaign. It's built into the system itself. And the one advice I'll give you GMs out there, talk to your table beforehand. So before we went live, I told the four of them, if you guys encounter Stamos, which you might do this session, your spotlights aren't going to work. Your plan Bs are going to work, but not as well as you want them to. He is pretty much untouchable until we get to the final showdown. And at the turning point, things might get bad for you guys this session. I gave them kind of that prep. Honestly, I didn't know because of what Allie did. We went directly to Stamos, which was great. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I think it was good for us as a table to have expectations, right? Because most of the time where things break down at a table is where we're not aligned on the game we're playing. We're not aligned on the expectations of what this game is. So I'm very happy that I pulled the curtain aside and said, hey guys, if you encounter Stamos, until we get to the showdown, it's not going to go well for you. And I loved how the four of you just played into it, and we just created an amazing scene. So that's my star as well. Roger, how about wishes? What are you hoping to happen here in the last 2 or 3 episodes?
Oh boy, I wish I hadn't told Mello keyboard, because now I'm not going to be able to use that computer because he smashed the keyboard. I should have said literally anything else.
I will say, as soon as Jack saw that, he was immediately thinking, okay, I'll take a position up at the door to make sure the door doesn't close, because Gavin's probably going to pull that electrical tape out and try to retape the keyboard wires together.
Yeah, so but I mean, that's part of Mello and Gavin's backstory.
That's amazing.
Gavin saved Mello's life by hitting a guy with a keyboard, so it was too good not to use. In all honesty, I want more of the same. I think, you know, everything is going how I want it to go, and I look forward to the resolutions.
So, in all honesty, are you frustrated with fight scenes, or are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
Good.
I think it's hilarious to eat a bologna sandwich while Mello's getting the shit
So
kicked
do
out
I.
of him.
So
He said he didn't want me to fight, so
Oh,
get what
as
you
a guy
asked
who
for.
as a guy who grew up in the A team, you've become the Murdoch of this crew for me, and it just fits perfectly, absolutely
A team
perfectly.
is awesome.
Troy, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Well, as usual, I'm having a really good time playing this. For the audience, Mello is not stupid. He's just a man of action, and he wants to solve problems with actions and not thinking too much. So, but yeah, my star. I mean, the Stamos thing was just epic, and the behind the curtain, Craig had put up this like picture of us like jumping out of the villa into the water. So
That's
I'm
the
like, oh,
thumbnail.
okay, cool. We're going to escape. I'm going to shoot the windows out. Everybody follow me. Everything's going to be cool. Damn it, Craig. It's bulletproof glass. Oh, now we're fucked. Okay, here's my gun. Damn it, I lost another gun.
So the scene in Stamos's bedroom was big for you. What are you wishing for as we start to get towards the? We're on the downhill now. As we finish this out, what are you hoping to see?
I'm wishing, my wish is to find the doc and see if
Seneca.
we're going to have to rescue her or we're going to have to shoot her in the head. Depending on what information she has.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
Where do you
the
think you
needs of the
are,
many.
Troy?
I am the
Did the
answer.
sign give it away enough or no?
Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're in the lab. I think
Good.
we're going to find both together. And we just have to figure out the needs of the many,
Good.
and which outweighs the needs of the few. Live long
Allie,
and
and last but not least,
prosper.
thoughts, stars, and wishes.
It's funny because thinking back on last session, we kind of started it in the party a little disjointed. So it was funny to see the flip side of that, where I think all of us in our characters kind of got a groove going on with what we wanted to do. And
I agree.
it felt easier for
Good.
I don't know if I can really pinpoint why it felt easier tonight to come up with more creative solutions and to sit there and go, okay, I need to be using these feats and using the outsmart and try to do that. But I'm glad that we're getting to, it feels like everybody's kind of getting to that point for themselves too, which is cool.
What was the scene that stood out for you? What was the moment that sticks with you if somebody asked you about tonight's session?
Well, really kind of in that same vein is, and I know that Clara like jokingly gave a backhanded compliment to Mello for it, but the pep talk that you gave, like, I think it set the tone for the beginning of the episode,
I
Troy.
agree.
Like, you did a great job of coming out of the bat being like, hey guys, gut check. We all have strengths. Let's just use them. And that was awesome.
I thought it was great too. And I'll tell you that my secret love is the interplay of Mello and Clara, because Mello is the machismo, like, wants to protect his girl and his friend that he cares about. It just, the way that we're watching, and again, it just fits the genre of watching Clara manage Mello. We don't want to neuter him at all. We want to let him have his machismo, but I love that Clara is like, yeah, no, honey, you're so sweet. It's just, the interplay has been great. You guys have done a great job of leaning into it.
Troy, how are we acting like an old married couple over here?
Exactly.
I know, right?
Oh, it's great. It's
I'm ready
great.
for the husband mode to stop listening to her. Don't listen to her.
And the funny part is, so this system, for those of you who don't know, has a bond system where you sit down and you
It actually
create.
doesn't.
Oh, it
That's
doesn't.
mine.
Oh, did you add that?
You
Okay.
did that?
Yeah,
So Craig
always
added
adds
bonds
that.
where he had us each sit down and say, okay, here's two of the other players. I want you to figure out what you have. Based on the bonds, this interplay should be between Clara and Jack
Mm-hmm.
because of what we had set up. But because of the organic nature of
Yes.
the game, it's actually been between Clara and Mello.
And I think, and I agree with you, Donald. And what's interesting is by making you go through that thought process of bonds, I think creates that interconnectivity, right?
Mhm.
And incidentally, for anybody watching, if you'd like a copy, I gave them a long menu of bonds. I told each of one of them, you have a bond with this character and that character. So everybody has a bond with two other characters. I gave them a long menu of bond prompts. If you want a copy of that, just email me. It's admin@thirdfloorwars.com. I'll send it over to you. It's become my go-to. I think the history of bonds is very murky. Some attribute it to Apocalypse World, some attribute it to Fate in its current form. But if you're not having your players pick bonds before start play, you're missing out.
Well, I think Clara and Mello are two sides of the same coin.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, she just uses her brain, and I use my broad. So there's like that friction, but it's also complementary. Like if we're just playing a duet type of game, you know, pick the lock and I'll beat the guy behind the door.
Yep.
You know?
So you're saying that it's kind of a Beauty and the Beast relationship.
A little bit.
And I'm the beauty because I had my shirt off today.
Well, we've definitely known that the Beast is
Rocket.
Clara because she's the one that closes the deal.
Right, exactly.
I think also, in full disclosure, it's also an aspect of the fact that Allie and Troy have played a lot of games together, right? So you
Sure.
you guys have played games long before you came onto this channel, and that shows, right? You guys understand each other as people and as players, and you have a trust that allows you to explore the relationship between Clara and Mello, and you can't replace that. All right, so stars for you.
That was my star. So wishes.
Oh, wishes.
Oh
Sorry.
gosh. More the same. I'm really happy to get to that like peak, and now we're heading towards the showdown and like the
third
finale
act, yeah.
of this third act of this movie. Like I'm sitting here eating popcorn, just very much enjoying the story. So more of the story.
All right, so I'm going to prompt you here, Allie. Do you want Sitakon to be a good guy or a bad guy? What do we think about our Nobel Prize winning scientist that has created Project Medusa? What are you hoping?
Allie wants her to be a bad guy because I think that will be very fun for all of us to act out when we eventually get to confront it. I think Clara wants her to be a good guy.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. So on Thursdays, we mentioned Sentinels is playing around the corner right before Christmas. We've got, I'll be right there, Donald. Right before we get around the corner, we've got Blade Runner coming right before Christmas. What do you want to say, Donald?
I just want to point out Sentinels is at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if they show up at the same time as this, they'll be an hour late.
They'll be an hour late. It isn't starting an hour earlier.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get towards the end of this. I'm not excited about ending the play here. You're going to see everybody on this channel playing again. And we've still got a lot more play left. So take care all.
See ya.
Howdy friends, thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.